And now I guess we're going to go up into Taz's weekly NASCAR team rankings. He has not shared with me this week his rankings, and he knows that that's irritating me because I believe RFK should be number one. I've been waiting a long time for RFK to be the number one on the board, but I still think somewhere or another Taz is going to disappoint me this week, and we're going to see 2311 at number one, no doubt, and RFK is still at number two.
Alrighty, let's start with the basement five. We are looking, not really any movement here, really for the basement five. We are looking at Rick Ware dropping down one to number 15. Haas Factory takes the number 14 spot. Wood Brothers stays at 13. Hayek stays at 12. Front Row stays at 1. Hayek and Wood Brothers have stayed at 12 and 13 for the last 2 or 3 weeks at this point. Front Row, second week in a row, staying in the basement five. Uh, I don't really have any comments here for this one.
Yeah, it's kind of stagnant back there in the back. This is where that charter question can really come up of whether or
Yes.
not who's wanting to get rid of, who's ready to cash out. Like I said, front row could be that one team that says, "Hey, you know what? We made a lot. We got a lot out of the lawsuit. Let's drop a charter and see if we can't do something to make the organization better." Since Bob Jenkins runs a lot out of his back pocket, this could be a good move for him. But as for the rankings, I don't have any argument with any of that. I think everybody's right where they should be. We're kind of getting into mid-season form. I just really, I'm kind of cool with where we're at. It is unfortunate to see Wood Brothers there. That's for sure.
I agree. I think this is what your bottom five is going to look like the rest of the season. We might get a one-off where Josh Berry finds himself at Talladega or Daytona coming out victorious just because of a big one or something. But I don't see any of these teams really mounting to much the rest of the season. And to your point, Chris, and to what we talked about earlier, these are the teams you're looking at to either not or not to perform good enough and lose a charter, or maybe let's get rid of one of our charters, or let's just call it, let's close shop. We made $100 million, or $200 million. Let's not piss all that money away, and let's all ride off into the sunset and be happy, and maybe go do local stuff or something just to pass the time away. So I absolutely agree with what you got here in the basement five.
All right, we move on to the climbing five. Sharon, just going to make you a note ahead of time. Do not get into the top five when we finish the climbing five, because we need to get to the top five to kind of help the anticipation for Chris. So with that being said, we get to our climbing five. Legacy Motor Club stays at number 10. RCR and Colleague drop down a
It's a
spot
tease.
each as Trackhouse moves up 2 spots. I think Chastain may improved a bit, but I think RCR's downfall, a little bit of downfall of Colleague this week, kind of probably propelled Trackhouse a bit. And then Spire stays at number 6. I think that's pretty much all I've got for comment-wise. Spire didn't really improve much in comparison to the top 5, but Legacy didn't really do anything either. Although Eric Jones top 10 for a day Darlington race that he normally sucks at.
Well, and I was about to say, Legacy could have really jumped a couple of teams here had Eric Jones cashed in on maybe a win at Darlington. It would have been cool to see that. John Hunter, I mean, we can't really say anything negative about the guy. He just hasn't had the greatest runs. But Colleague Racing, they're kind of where they are. Trackhouse, hanging in there at 7. Spire. It's getting hard to argue any of this. Though I do want to say that Richard Childress Racing, you are who we thought you were.
Yeah, other than Spire, who with of Korsafo coming up, or however you say his last name, Hocevar, um, coming up from the back of the field and putting a hell of a performance on himself. Um, Obviously, their team's not top five. They're your 7 through 10. I have no, I wish Spire could move up, but the top five are better than them. I know who's in the top five by a process of elimination. So there's no doubt that Spire is where they need to be. But I do feel they are the top of the climbing five in this section. And I agree with everything you got going on here. Those, I think 8, 9, and 10, I think we'll see Colleague, RCR, and Legacy kind of battle it out. And whether or not Trackhouse figures it out or not, whether or not there'll be a talk of battling to get back into the top five, or they stay here with the other three. I just don't see Legacy, RCR, or Colleague going up any higher. I think this is where they are as organizations, and I would be surprised if they move up anymore throughout the season.
All
On
right,
paper, Trackhouse should be better than Spire. On paper, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
here we go. Our top 5, and don't switch it just yet. Don't switch it just yet. I'll let you know. Number 5, falling down 1 spot, is Hendrick Motorsports. At number 4, taking over that spot, is Team Penske. Staying at number 3 is Joe Gibbs. And now, Chris, want to do a drum roll? Once again. All right, flip it to the top 5. Bingo, 23.
Oh my gosh! But I know Mr. CJ Sports is going to argue this one.
All right, so
Wow.
I know where Mr. CJ is going to say if you're winning, you should be number 1. And yes, 2311 is getting the wins, but they're only getting wins out of one driver, Bubba Wallace, the bridesmaid. And Riley Herbst is stinking up the show. He's leaving his 11 herbs and spices back at KFC restaurants, apparently. And not using it into his car to make him go faster. But RFK as a whole, I mean, not one driver sticks out more than the other. They're all equally competitive there. I mean, in the standings wise, yes, 2311 has first and third. But Riley Herbst sitting in 27th. Again, what are you doing? Obvious at this point, we've all said it. He's keeping the seat warm for Hein time. RFK 7th, 9th, and 12th this week. They're right there. Not one is too much further out than the other, and that's been like that the whole season, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier,
And Busher could have gotten a lot better finish this week had he not gotten that incident.
And again, you hear those standings. You also heard earlier that there are 5 drivers who have finished on the lead lap all season long so far, and 3 out of 5 come out of the RFK camp. Obviously, something's clicking as an organization as a whole there versus whatever 2311's doing with Riley Herbst. I think he just sucks. I'll come out right and say it. He just sucks and needs to get out of the seat. Heim time is now.
I will mark forever March 25th as the day that RFK made it to the number 1 spot. I hope that they're able to maintain this position. We know the train's coming. The 3 teams that you expect to be 1, 2, 3 is sitting 3, 4, 5. There's some Cinderella stories going on up front, and RFK has found their day at number 1. I do want to know, Taz, are we publishing these weekly Taz's weekly rankings? Because if not, we're missing an opportunity here.
I know. Mr. CJ gets the clips of them on our YouTube channel.
Okay. I think that we should probably post these as well with the graphics and all. It's such an awesome little deal that you do here. I might want to make sure that people are really, because I mean, a lot of people will probably argue you that RFK is undeserving when 2311 wins 4 races out of 6.
I'll put it this way. I won't argue them. I just want to see their points because you know what? These are my rankings, and I stick to my guns, and I make my cases here on the show. It's called listen to the show if you want to hear the inputs of why I put teams where they are.
I like it. I like it. And I can't argue it. I've been waiting for this day. The very first power rankings when RFK was somewhere sublet between 10 and 11, it was, can this team come from the cellar? And the first 6 months of RFK did not look like it was going to be very promising. Then we saw light at the end of the tunnel. Now we're seeing preparation, opportunity, and skill come into play all together. So, this guy, Kreslowski, he knows what he's doing. He's a team leader. He's buttoned up. He has the Penske way, and proven that you can be a small tier team with big time results. They are the best Ford team of the Ford camp right now. Of course, you only have 3 teams that are Ford camp, but they are at the top level, and now they're at the top level of all of them into Taz Weekly Power Rankings. Guys, it's been a great show here tonight. Glad that y'all have been a part of it. Hopefully, you share it around and do all kind of good stuff. Maybe next week.
Do I not get a comment on top 5? I know. Do I not get my input on this here?
Wow, Mr. CJ Sports, I have just canceled you out of the show.
Wow.
I'm gone. Bye, y'all.
You're really afraid of what my thoughts were on this 1-2 sequence this week. To comment first of all on the question earlier, clipping and posting this video. Usually this is the very first segment that I clip and put out there. It's kind of the easiest one to do because I know when it begins, it ends, so I don't have to sit there and try to make sure different things. So it's usually the easiest one to do. It's the longest, so all the rest of them after that, it gets a little bit easier doing the rest of them after this one because this is usually the longest segment. But it is the first segment that I usually publish after our shows. Hendrick being 4th, I'm good with. I tell you what, that 48 team is really hurting the team rankings, and I get it. It's got to do with health, and I think they said 2 more races after this week, so this is still going to be an ongoing issue, and who knows after that. Penske, more so Ryan Blaney has looked really good. I mean, there's been flashes of Gano here and there.
Cindric had a top 5 performance.
Cindric, I don't know. There's been a few moments here, but he's really been the weakest link for Team Penske. Gibbs Racing, even Ty's been showing up since races lately, so I like that. Now I can't believe, for the love of God, the fact that I said it twice that Taz heard, and because Chris's earphones or whatever wasn't working, he heard it once already. I can't believe you guys all have the audacity to assume that I would 100% disagree with this. I told you all that I feel, yes, that 21 or 23-11 should be on top until somebody can prove that they can beat Tyler Reddick. And I know it's a team ranking, so therefore at the same time, I told you all that I have no problem with RFK if they end up being number 1, because as a whole team, they are the most complete team together. So I have no issue with them being the top team. And that's the 3rd time I've said this on the show. So the fact that y'all came at me, then try to cancel me out of the section and this whole part of the episode, I can't believe this.
Don't point the finger fully at me. You point the finger
I'm just a
at
bad
the
host.
Looking for the ultimate way to represent your team? Welcome to the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company. We are a veteran-owned business that takes pride in bringing the best in officially licensed merchandise. From the NFL and MLB to the NBA and college sports, we've got your fan cave covered. Visit us at any of our 4 locations. Find us in Monroe, West Milton, Hocking Hills, and Lancaster, Ohio. Can't make it in? Shop our full collection online at the 110 Sports and Collectibles Company. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. There is only one nation, the 110 Nation.